Hello everyone, it's Catherine Maley, and we're going to talk about how to heat up your summer profits because quite a few of you every year experience this huge drop in the summer. And a lot of this is mindset, and a lot of this can be fixed with mindset as well as really good strategies. So you'll get some good ideas here, and the goal, as always, is to take these strategies and actually execute them. So I'll give a presentation, and I got some questions up front during registration, so I will answer those. And then as new questions come up, or if you have better ideas or more ideas than I do and you want to share them, please just put them in the question box. I'll be watching that at the end, and I'll stay put while you have questions. So let's go ahead and get started. So how do you heat up your summer profits? Well, here are the current frustrations that I hear a lot of. Things slow down in the summer. The staff needs to stay busy because your overhead continues. So just because, things might slow down, everyone still wants to get paid. And there might be too many holes in your schedule. I just got a call today and they said they've only gotten 2 phone calls in June, and that's not good. So here's what you're about to discover. What you can do now to heat up your summer profits. Simple strategies to boost your skincare to surgery revenues, and then where to focus your efforts during the dog days of summer. And just in case you don't know who I am, because oftentimes my emails are forwarded around, and so you might not be aware of me, but my name is Catherine Maley. I wrote the book, Your Aesthetic Practice, What Your Patients Are Saying. I do a lot of speaking around the world, actually. I just got back from Montreal for the American Society of Aesthetic Plastic Surgeons meeting, and Montreal was gorgeous. If you haven't been there, please go. But I would go in the spring. I hear there's a lot of snow there in the winter. And then I just got back from the Vegas Cosmetic Surgery meeting in Vegas, which was unbelievable. And as a matter of fact, I'm noticing that the room for business and marketing seems to be more attended than the clinical side. And that's a hint. This game of cosmetic rejuvenation, or this industry, is quickly becoming, the marketing and the business side of it is almost getting to be more important than the clinical side. So that is that. Now, on a personal note, just in case you're dying to know where I'm at, I am in Sausalito, which is a little town outside of San Francisco. So when you're in San Francisco, you go over the Golden Gate Bridge, you go through a tunnel, and boom, you just kind of fall into Sausalito. And it's pretty well known for its little white sailboats. They're everywhere. And it's quite beautiful. And in case you want a weather report, today it's probably high 60s, sunny, and clear skies, and absolutely gorgeous. This is a great place to go hiking, by the way. So let's talk about the good news, because right now, and this is where I want to change some mindset, because if you have that belief that the summer dies, that's not correct. The whole world did not go on vacation. Trust me on that one. So let's just talk about some of the trends. Let's start with social trends. People change their marital status all year long, and that works to your advantage. Same thing with jobs. People get new jobs, quit new jobs, are fired or otherwise known as freed from jobs. All sorts of things happen in the job market. So aesthetic rejuvenation fits very well in there, especially if, let's say, you haven't been in the job market for years and now you want to re-enter it and you need kind of a boost, or maybe you're competing with the younger generation, who knows? But the job change happens all year long. And these social events are constantly happening. So in the summer, we've got lots of family reunions and weddings and barbecues. So that's still in very good shape. Now, the economic trends are also year-round. Businesses actually can slow down and even close in the summer. So this is actually a really good time for some people to have downtime. And some people, meaning maybe teachers or professors or anybody who works in certain industries, they slow down in the summer. So that's a good opportunity. Also, if you are paid on any kind of bonus structure, like a salesperson, you often get paid quarterly. So now you've got, if they just got paid in June, there's some money there. And then also divorce settlements and inheritance. I read not too long ago that there's something like $13 trillion being passed down to the baby boomer generation from their generation. I mean, that's amazing. So just so you know, all the money did not completely dry up. There's still plenty around. You just have to be more creative to find it. And then lastly, there's the technology trends. Now, this is the tough one because this has confused the aesthetic patient, and it's added so much choice that if they have too much choice, then they kind of panic and don't know what to do. So they not only don't know who to go to, they don't exactly know what they want. Because in today's world, the technology has promised to be less downtime, less scarring, less invasive, less pain, it's cheaper, it's faster. And that's really a complicated decision for that patient to make. But the good news is that works to your advantage if indeed you're creative enough. Because if you are typically, let's say you're a surgeon, you need to deal with this because there's a chance you want to do surgery, but on the other hand, the patient doesn't want surgery if they believe they can get almost the same result for less. So you've got to deal with that. And we'll talk more about that. But here's the point. An aesthetic patient has endless needs year-round. The point is they can enter all sorts of different doors to your practice. Some of these patients might just come in for a quick peel or microderm and then work their way down the ladder to retail products, or work their way up the ladder now that they know you and they're more comfortable with you. Maybe they'll work their way up the ladder to Botox, fillers, body shaping, and surgery. But then some of your patients start out with surgery. And let's say you're playing the internet game, putting a ton of money into that, and they came in for surgery. Well, if you're on your game, they'll now work their way back down the ladder to fillers, Botox, skincare, and products. The point is, once they're on your ladder, you got to keep them. That's the goal here. So let's say surgery is not their number one priority in the summer. They have plenty of other places to go up and down this ladder for the summer. So let's look at some strategies that are working now. And I'm not just making these up. We've been doing this for 15 years, and that's what we do all day, patient attraction. What can we do for a cosmetic practice to get them more patients? So here are some proven strategies. Let's talk about email marketing for a second. It's very popular. You should always do it. It's just a given. And here's what works the best. Certain elements include a themed message. And themes in the summer are all about curves, carefree, fun, and the word confident. In the summer, if you think about the aesthetic patient and the way they're thinking, they now are wearing less clothes, so they have a lot more to cover up, perhaps, and they need to feel confident showing skin and showing body parts. So that's a really good theme. It also needs to be informative, and I will put informative in photos any day over a whole bunch of copy. Copy is really good, but in the email, you only have a quick second to get somebody's attention. So for email especially, get the before and after photos in there. They really do speak 1,000 words, so use them. And then catchy headlines like ours was curvy, carefree, confident use starts now. Good. That also added a little sense of urgency there because you're going to have issues with email. The attention span of a gnat is what's happened to everybody because they're so deluged with information. So you need them to read this, be excited about it, and have a tight expiration date with a special offer so they call now rather than close that email and never see it again because it gets lost in the stream. I really like this one. This is I call it the slice and dice letters. Now, hear me out on this. This is all about quality rather than quantity. In the summer, if you believe that things really slow down, all that means is you need to try harder to keep your numbers up. It's just not going to come as easy as it normally does. So the easiest place to go for more revenues and more procedures is to your current patients who want to come back for more or who would come back for more given a good reason to. So an easy thing to do is go to your list and segment it. So, for example, somebody in your database who came in for consultation but they didn't book, you would give them a very certain letter And frankly, I would start with a letter and then an email and then a phone call. You know, the 3 strikes and you're out. In the summer, you'll want to spend more time, more quality time with these good prospects, and you'll get a really good result compared to not doing anything at all. So back to the letter. Let's say they came in for a consult, they didn't book, and now you're stuck because they said, I'll think about it. And then you called a couple times and they didn't call you back, or they said, I'm still thinking about it. And it's kind of dead, right? Well, you can revive that by sending a letter that says something like, Dear Sarah, and you must personalize this. This has to be heartfelt. You know what? I noticed, and this should come straight from the doctor. I noticed you had come in for a consultation, but you didn't book. I'm just hoping all is well. I'm hoping, it all went well. If it didn't, I'd love to hear about it. But if it happened to have been bad timing, or maybe it was the finances, I have some information for you that could help you get what you want. And now mention something like, our finance company just introduced 0% easy pay plans this summer. Are you interested? And you have to be creative with some of this stuff. I don't know if that's true, but I'm pretty sure, these finance companies always have some kind of 0% easy pay plan. So that's always a really good one. Or maybe you introduce something this summer that they could now jump off the fence and say yes to. So that's that idea. I would use it wisely. This is not about sending one message to the whole world. It's about really talking specifically to certain patients who something specific happened to, and now it's just what they needed to have them get to a yes rather than continue to think about it. Themed summer specials are important. You never want to do specials all over the world like a Groupon kind of deal, because that's not who you're trying to attract to your practice. When I say specials, I'm referring to summer specials to the current patients who already know, like, and trust you, and they're being rewarded for knowing you. So again, you want to be creative. You can do things like free sunblock with laser treatments. I realize laser treatments are not the best thing to do in the summer. Some of them nowadays are. It doesn't matter what skin or if you're tan or not, but some still matter. But just, it's the point is to combination it so it's free. In advertising, the word free will always, always, always be the most popular word. So you want to use it when you can. And then minimally invasive body contouring treatment introductory offer. If you just happen to have something new, or it would be new to a patient who hasn't been in for a while, segment that group. It might not be new to you. Maybe you've had it for a year, but they haven't been in a year. That's a great slice and dice letter. Hey, Sarah, just in case you're interested to know, you can still get rid of your summer bulges, and we have an introductory offer with a tight expiration date. That's a really good idea. Or something like free Botox with skin tightening, because another issue with some of this technology is you don't get instant results. So if you can come up with packages where they could still see an instant result in something while the other result is, working its way through the system. And then really fun things, some fun copy to use, like make a splash this summer. You just have to think summer, fun, happy, good times. So here's some easy stuff to do internally. Always take a look at your in-house signage. You know if your signage is off, if and when you hear the old, I didn't know you did that, and they had it done somewhere else. There's a really good chance quite a few of your patients do not realize all you offer. Somehow in their minds, they have you pegged for this one particular procedure that they go to you for, but somehow they don't think of you for the other procedures. If that happens to you, that means your in-house signage needs to step up. So something as simple as a menu of services, you make them big and eye-catching, you put them everywhere, in the restrooms, in the exam rooms, in the reception area, that patient is sitting, looking over and going, I didn't know they did that. And that's going to prompt them to want to learn more. Also, if you have a section for procedure FAQs, That's always helpful. Once they're in the office, they want to learn more about you. Any kind of a patient guide, things to know about liposuction, something like that. And I love floor banners. They're easy to put in a corner. They don't take up a lot of floor space. However, they're vertical and they are fantastic. They have a ton of geography or real estate there, so you can get a lot of copy on there. And it's just what you need. Like this one was get your curves back and show some skin this summer. That can be, here's the goal. Any human body walking through your practice should know about every single procedure, treatment, or product you offer in this arena, because that's how you hang on to them and increase your average order size per patient. I call this the Ask Me About tool, and here's where I'm going with this. You never want to feel like you're pushing or selling or being aggressive with patients. And I know that's a big issue in our industry. And people say, I'm not a salesperson. You don't need to be if you've got your in-house signage correct. The goal is always to educate the patient. And a great way to do that is with patient digital photo frames showing your other patients' great results. And you do it silently and you just let them run quietly. And again, they're always positioned in places where the patient is sitting still, just kind of hanging out. The goal here is for the patient to start that discussion with you, not you starting it with them. So for example, the digital photo frame would be placed in their exam room where they are sitting waiting for you to either come into the room or prepare their injectable treatment or whatever the case is. They look over at the counter and they're watching these photos going back and changing. And when you walk in the door, the goal is 7 out of 10 of them say, hey, can you tell me more about that liposuction I saw on there? And that's how that discussion starts. So showing off your work in this strategic way really boosts the discussion, and it boosts your procedures and your revenues, because you now get more revenues per patient who wants more from you than you realize they do. Check in and check out is huge, and I don't think they're taken very seriously with most practices. Check in is the beginning of a great experience with you, and check out is called cha-ching, because at checkout, you want to do an awful lot at the beginning and at the end. You want to do a lot in the middle, which is where most people concentrate, but the beginning and the end are huge when it comes to building quality versus just quantity. So something simple to do. And I don't know how your practice is set up, but maybe you have 2 different counters, one's for check-in, one's for check-out. So you would want 2 of these. But the point here is you make a really cute sandbox. You put sand in it. You put umbrellas in there and sunglasses, sneakers, or what do you call it? Sandals, and put your product line in there. And then include gift certificates. And, have a sign, need a quick gift or need a summer gift for a friend or something like that. And then just have it on display. It's cute, it's eye-catching, it opens up discussions about things, and it's a fun way to kind of like increase your average order size for the day, have them leaving with a smile and hopefully with a gift certificate, because now you have a new patient now that they bought that certificate for their friend or relative. And they leave with a smile is the goal, okay? But you also need to have this at checkout for sure. In today's world, you can't just hope things happen. It's too busy, it's too crowded, it's too noisy. You really have to ask for what you want. So having a referral display at the checkout counter is strategic because they come out from their procedure, they're happy, they love you, they love the doctor, they love everybody, and now they're paying for the day. Their purse is open, their wallet is open, they're pulling out their credit card. As they're handing it to you, they see, and while they're waiting for you to ring them up, they're watching this and it says, oh, the greatest compliment you could ever pay us is to refer our practice to your friends and family. Please take a referral card today. Ah, okay. Then they take a couple cards, put them in their wallet, and that's just where they need to be when she's out at all the barbecues and the gatherings and they start discussing things like, wow, Sarah, you look fantastic. What have you been doing? There's the proof, the paper trail she needed to hand your card out to her friends. Something this simple should be happening in your office every single day. And I've been in offices where we've given them this frame. We check in with them a month later and they'll say, oh, whatever happened to that thing? I think somebody put it away and we never came back out again. This is such a simple no-brainer strategy, and you just want to make sure you're using it and keep the cards filled up in it as well. Any chance, here's what you need. All right, so now you've worked with your current patients. Now what we're looking for are their referrals. The next best group for you to focus on is always friends. Friends of friends of friends of friends. That's how an aesthetic practice was always built, organically from the inside out with friends. An easy one to do is a refer a friend perk card. And the goal is always to think, and by the way, I would have all of you get together and brainstorm about friends. And things like refer a friend, tell a friend, share with a friend, bring a friend. Gosh, any kind of friend thing you can come up with. But this one is a simple one. It's just a 2-for-1 friend program. And it's buy a package of 2 facials, one for you, one for a friend, and you save $50. It's that simple. The thing about referrals, as we know in our industry, is you don't want to pay for a referral because that's really wrong. Just never pay for a referral. So you have to be more creative. The 2-for-1 idea is still a good one, and it keeps everyone out of trouble. Now, in-house seminars and events, a lot of practices know they should do them, but they don't know how, or they don't feel like doing them, or I don't know what. But in the summer, this is more important than ever because things slow down. As a matter of fact, if you do have staff standing around, what a great opportunity for them to show you their marketing chops. And all they need to do is get a hold of your vendors, the laser reps, the filler reps, the implant reps, get a hold of all of them. Their goal in life is to help you sell more of their product or service. It behooves them to help you. They're more than happy to help you. So work with them. Do small events that are intimate, where you, the surgeon, have face-to-face time with the attendees, but let your staff do the heavy lifting. Maybe have some kind of a skincare series where once a week you have a different one, or once a month maybe 3 times this summer. Have demonstrations, testimonials, have patients there who have had things done by you, and really reach out to the vendors, because this is not a party with 200 people where nobody got to meet you. This is an intimate party, not a party. It's an intimate informational event where you've got maybe 10 or 20 patients there. Hopefully, half of them are a new patient because you told them to bring a friend. And then you, the surgeon, have time, FaceTime with them to talk about other things other than skincare. Maybe you give a talk on surgery, your staff talks about skincare, and you're going with quality, not quantity. And that could be just what you need to get through the summer. It's like the bread and butter. The seminars still are really good if you do them right and if you do them. Now, summer's also the perfect time to sharpen your saw. If you're crazy busy throughout the year, summer might be the only time you can sharpen your saw. And I will tell you for a fact, the top aesthetic practices, the multi-million dollar aesthetic practices, are the ones who take the time to do the details. The details are the ones that nobody else will bother doing because they're a pain in the neck. They're tough to do. Nobody has time to do them. The staff doesn't care to do them. Somehow they figure it out. And things like updating your photos. Photos will always be the most important thing that you could work on, and making them consistent and good lighting and different demographics, and presenting them cleanly, digitally, or in really nice new photo books. However you're doing it, this is the perfect time in the summer to get that right. Photos really are kind of the social proof of our industry, and you just can't have enough quality ones. And also clean up your office. I know I visit a lot of offices, and I think you're looking at this every day, so you don't notice it. A patient who comes to your office clean and fresh with fresh eyes really notices the boxes hiding in the corner, the clutter on the desk, the food on the counter. They notice all of that. You really want to clean that up and show a nice, clean area. In my book, I asked them about that, and they really were sensitive to smells and to like when you open a drawer, did it look like the junk drawer from your kitchen, or was it organized? Because if a new patient is in your office, think about it, they're looking for clues as to how to say yes to you or no to you. And these little details can really add up to a yes more than a no. Also, take a look at improving your processes. If you haven't done that in a while, I highly, highly recommend it. Whenever I consult with practices, this is what I do. And I charge a lot to do this, and you can do it on your own. But you won't have the same insight I have, but you have really good insight. Or let your patients do this for you. But go through your processes as a patient does and really dissect and brainstorm, how can we better our best? So it starts with the inquiry to your office. Then how is that call handled? Was the receptionist able to convert the call? If not, why not? Was the patient, did they show up for their visit, or was it a no-show? If so, why? And what can we do to avoid that? Then was the staff really good at educating them on the practice, on the surgeon, on the expectations? Then how did the doctor do with the consult? Then did they close the procedure? Like, what happened? Did they say yes? Terrific. If they said no, why? And then what's your follow-up? Because if they did go towards procedure, did you get a testimonial from them? Did they give referrals? And especially, I forgot to add, did they do a good online patient review? If you would go through all of your processes this summer, you're going to see a whole bunch of little gaps where you could close those up and improve your conversion rates at least by 10%. And there's your extra revenue for the summer. For example, fixing your phones will always be the biggest one that I see. You've got to answer those phones and then answer them correctly and have some good scripts and make sure that receptionist understands her goal is not just to answer the phone, it's to bond with the patient. Use her voice to encourage them, give them verbal cheerleading, and then ask for the appointment. It's also to fix your no-shows. If you're having an issue with no-shows, you have got to address that. There are so many strategies that you can do to help that. I will tell you, for example, what one of them is. The reason they're no-showing is obviously they don't know you. They learned about you. I'm assuming these are these internet patients. They don't know you. They just saw your website. They're saying, yeah, sure, I'll come in for a consult. Some of them are even paying for the consult and still not showing up. It's because they don't have a relationship with you. There's a lot more you can do on the front end, as in call them ahead of time with a pre-consult call to bond with them. And I'll go more into that in some training this summer I'm going to be doing, because this no-show issue is going to be the end of some of these practices. And then you want to fix your conversion rates. If you're not converting, gosh, it's so hard to say. And I don't even want to get into that discussion because it depends on where that patient is coming from. If it's from the internet, you're lucky to convert, 5 to 20% of them. If they're coming from referrals and you're not converting at least 70 to 80% of them, something's wrong. And you want to take a look at that. And then you want to attract more patients. But here's the issue. So many of you say, I want more patients. And if you really watch your processes, I'm going to say to you, do you want more patients or do you want more preferred patients? Because if a lot of people are coming through your office and they're not booking, something's wrong. Either you marketed to the wrong crowd who just is not your preferred patient. Let's say they only care about money and they don't care about your skill or your expertise. You got to really take a look at what your marketing is accomplishing for you. And if it's not accomplishing what you want, you've got to change the marketing, either the channel, the media channel you're using, or you've got to change the copy, the message, or you've got to change who you're going after. and go up the food chain if you're not happy with who you have. So that's a lot to do, but I do have some tools to help. And I will always say the fundamentals are always going to be your classic tools to use. You still want to do all the fun new stuff, the silver, what do you call them, shiny objects. You still want to do all of that, but you still want to do the regular fundamentals. Get your office in shape. Get your staff in shape, get your processes in shape. So when all of your patient attraction starts working and your phones are ringing, you can get them all the way through your process to a yes. So here's my how-to library. It's got the 12 modules, and I've painstakingly did all the work for you so you don't have to do anything but open up each module. And here's what they contain. First, you get a webinar, the complete audio and visual PowerPoint presentation that's narrated by me, because a lot of this is not just what to do, but how to say things. So I'm pretty verbal about things. And you'll get that in a DVD that you can plug in at lunchtime. They're usually 30-minute webinars, and then you can brainstorm afterwards to decide what you want to execute now or later and who's held accountable. Now, I don't just tell you what to do in these things. I give you detailed step-by-step on how to do it. And I even include the editable graphic design files that you can edit yourself in Illustrator, or you just take it to your printer, and it's already done for you. And then in case you're in a hurry or you just need a quick strategy, you can just go to the guidebook, and that's got the complete text with the PowerPoint graphics and writing, so you can just refer to that easily. And then I put them all in sturdy white vinyl cases for easy bookshelf storage, so you can refer to this for the rest of your career. Now, the topics, I broke them out into 12 of the most important topics you need to grow your cosmetic practice. So they include how to differentiate from your competitors, set up in-house marketing, use email marketing effectively, see a surge of patients in 30 days, coordinate a successful open house, be famous in your community, promote retail profitably, how to conduct a successful patient consultation, build word-of-mouth practice, turn phone calls into profits, advertise effectively, and double your aesthetic profits. Now, here's what Dr. Lehman said. These tools are fantastic. The ready-made graphics give us the good ideas we need each month so we know exactly what to do without guessing. We get an extra $3,000 to $5,000 a month in additional revenues, and the hard work is already done for us. Dr. Smith said, of all the marketing material I have read and used, Catherine's are by far the best. Her staff guidebooks make the difference between success and failure in converting calls and procedures. And I love what Dr. Fine said, your strategies have doubled my volume. That's what we like to hear. So I did something for you for the summer. Because it is slow, I would love for you to get your practice in order and fine-tune it. So I have a special going on for the rest of this month. It's half off plus free shipping on all of our patient attraction and staff training tools. The how-to is the most popular one, but there are also other tools there as well. And all you do is go to our website, cosmeticimagemarketing.com, and then you just click on products, and then you use at checkout, you use the promo code named Summer. And by the way, everything we offer always includes our 100% satisfaction guarantee or your money back. That hardly ever happens because I know what I'm doing. I know the patient that you want, and I know what they respond to. But if for some reason you weren't happy with it, you can always just return it and you get your money back. So I wanted to add a sense of urgency because, like everybody, it's easy to attend this stuff and then go, oh yeah, that's a great idea, and then just keep going. I'd really like to see you succeed this summer. So the first 10 of you who order will get my book for free, and I'll even autograph it for you. So that's priceless, of course. And to even build up a little more urgency, the first 5 of you who order will get a free strategy call. And this is what we'll do. We'll get on the phone together and we'll map out a plan for you for this summer so you don't flounder around and get confused. We'll map it out what you should do this summer given your situation, given your staff, given your challenges, whatever it may be. And that is that. So I'm going to open it up now to questions. And if you have any questions, or for sure any feedback or other suggestions that I didn't mention and you're dying to share them, go ahead and put them in the question box to the right of the screen and I can answer them for you. During registration, I always ask you if you want to ask me a question. So I did get a couple questions, so I'll just start with those while you're typing in new questions. But it said, this doctor was saying, there's so much to do in today's world. I don't even know where to start, and I don't know where to put my money. And to keep this simple, I always start with successes first. So I highly, highly recommend you go back to your schedule, go back to the last 40, 50, 100 surgical or big ticket items you did. And now really look at it. Don't just do it anecdotally, like guess at it. Really know the numbers and say, where did these patients come from? Were they current patients? Were they internet stranger patients? Were they word of mouth referrals? Were they physician referrals? Like, where did they come from? What did they like the most of? Like, which procedures were the most popular? And then go find some more of them. You should really track some demographics. Their age, were they nearby? Is there a certain ethnicity that's attracted to you? Do they belong to groups? How can you take that one patient and get to know others just like them? That's where I would always, always start. And then after you keep an eye on your current patients and reach out to them, the next goal is, who are their friends and family? It's always, always, always better to have a referred patient come to you than an internet stranger patient, although I understand you have to have both. You have to have lots of fishing poles in the pond in today's world. But your next easiest goal are the referrals. Have a brainstorming session. See, what can you do to get more referrals? And I gave you some good strategies here. I even gave you the files, to do it. So it's already done for you, or come up with your own if you can. And then the next level would be, how can we grow our current patients' loyalty? And there are all sorts of ways to do that as well. That's for another webinar. And then another big one was that slice and dice. Who else came to your office who didn't say no, but they didn't say yes? So for example, anybody who came in for that consultation but didn't book, there's a really good chance they were just saying not now or not yet. What a great opportunity to reach out to them again. If you have spent the time, the money, the hassle, the effort to get people into your office, it would behoove you to do everything humanly possible to get them to stay with you and say yes to you, either now or next month or next year. I'm telling you, I believe this industry has seen its best years. The best years are behind them. Now it's competitive. It's like a regular business that's, you've got to have some good business sense here. I would start looking deeper and go much deeper with your database and spend more time on quality than on quantity. And then lastly, I would take a look, especially this summer, I'd take a look at community alliances. And it's because if you're slow, there are a lot of other businesses, like the vanity businesses, who could also be slow. And what a perfect time for you and the owner to get together and talk about how you two could work together. You have a database, they have a database. They all, both your databases have disposable income. How could you work together to gain more awareness to a new group of people, but also gain instant credibility because they would somehow introduce you to their patient base or customer base? You would introduce them to yours in a fun way, just in a win-win kind of way. Okay, let's see here. Oh, the surgeon says, I want surgery. Well, okay. So if you want surgery, which of course surgeons want surgery. But the issue is you may want that, but maybe your patients don't. You have to learn in today's world, I would say, reality is going to keep hitting you over the head because the reality is if it is summer and you believe nobody wants surgery, then you better have something else to fall back on, like the injectables, the lasers, all of that. So at least your ancillary services could keep you busy enough this summer if indeed you believe all your patients are on hiatus. Or you've got to try a lot harder. You can always throw more money at PPC, Google AdWords, and try to get some surgeries that way. You could hold the small intimate events and talk about tummy tuck, body stuff. You can certainly do that. You could also somehow align with patients who are interested in this in the summer. Maybe there are brides who were going to lose the weight and never did, so they need a quick fix like lipo. Maybe it's their wedding party who never did even bother with the goal. Now they really need to get in shape. Maybe it's teachers. Where do teachers go for information? If there's any way you can get in front of them, or professors at universities, anybody who takes some time off in the summer, that's a great group to approach, offer to give talks to small groups of them, maybe even flight attendants. Think outside the box. One hint is, if you give money to you give money to certain people, like your own, who does your hair, who's your retailer, which shops do you visit, what kind of vendors do you work with, all of that. Like, what do you do in your daily life? Who do you give money to is the point. Reach out to some of them, get creative, and see if they also would work with you to refer their customers, friends, family, their alliances over to you, but then somehow make that a win-win. There's a question about referrals. This thing about referrals, let's just be really clear about that. You never, ever, ever want to entice somebody to do a medical procedure and give them money for a referral, because that's what gets you in trouble. The tit for tat kind of thing. And I've spoken to the medical boards about this, and they differ state to state, and it's very gray. It can be gray, but you just don't want to put in writing ever that if you refer a friend, I will give you money. That you never, ever want to do that. But you do have to live in reality, and I believe the strategies I laid out here are good. They're bring a friend, share with a friend, forward to a friend. You can also do some kind of a rewards program. I'm going to do that on another webinar down the road, like how to tighten that up more, because I truly believe the bread and butter of your practice will always be word of mouth referrals. And then the goal is, how do you shortcut it? How do you make that happen more often than just hope it happens, right? Okay, and with that, I am going to say thank you so much for listening. Please go to cosmetikimagemarketing.com, go to products, put in the promo code SUMMER. You get half off plus free shipping. If you're one of the first, you get my free book, and you get a nice strategy session with me. I hope that was helpful. I hope you have a great summer, and please keep watching, because I'm going to be doing some live training this summer for your staff that you might be really interested in as well. It will be different from the products, though. You should always have these products. There's a lot of staff training in there and fundamentals, but then also I'll be around for the summer. So thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.